Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pits and Motorcast. Your host Dave, and I got on the line with me, Aka funny car driver, nostalgia funny car, Jordan Ballew. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, Jordan, how did you get started in drag racing?
Well, my dad has been drag racing for years, and I've probably been at the drag strip ever since the day I was born. And I didn't first start get to drive till I was probably 10 or 11, and my dad bought me a junior dragster. And I did that for a year or two, and ended up getting rid of that, and I ended up racing my 77 Chevelle I had throughout high school. So.
And what'd you drive after the Chevelle?
I had the Chevelle. Well, I still have the Chevelle. I bought a 77 Corvette that was narrowed and tubbed, and I bracket raced it, and it ran low 10s in the quarter. And then ended up buying an altered, and sold the Corvette, and bought a funny car body, and that's how we ended up with the funny car.
So now, what year did you get the funny car body?
Bought the funny car body in 2016. It was September 2016. And, because I raced the altered all of the 2016 season trying to get all the bugs worked out of it. And I never actually made a good pass in the altered. So, after the season ended, I ended up buying a funny car body, and my dad had a four-engine dragster at the time. And, he decided that he was going to sell his dragster, and we were going to go in partners on his funny car. So we kind of teamed up on it, and he's the crew chief, and I'm the driver.
And then last year at Funny Car Chaos, you went against Andy Mears, the Dragon Slayer, almost beat him.
I kick myself every day for that race. There's not a day that goes by I don't think about it. It's like I almost had him. But, like, I know there's going to be other funny car chaoses, but I think I should have won that one. If I would have had a better light, I would have had him.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God, that's annoying. So now you got the Ballew Racing team.
Yeah, the funny car we call Blue Thunder, and that was actually, we called my dad's four-engine dragster Blue Thunder, and we decided just to keep the name and move it over to the funny car instead of the dragster.
Yeah. So, besides you and your dad, are there any other crew members for the funny car?
Yeah, we have my mom who helps out. This last season, she was the one backing me up, and my fiance goes with us every race, and I've also got my two daughters that go with us every race. And whenever we race up in Kansas or Missouri, my uncle, he comes along and helps out too. So we probably got about 3 or 4 people that help out every race.
So how old are your two daughters?
One is 6, and the other one just turned 2 last month.
Now, they like drag racing?
Yeah. I think my 2-year-old likes it a little more than 6-year-old, but they both enjoy going, and they seem to have fun when we go. I don't know if I'll be able to talk them into driving a junior dragster one day, but I'm going to try.
Now, when you were growing up, besides your dad being an inspiration to you to start drag racing, any other drag racers out there that are inspirational?
Well, I've always liked funny cars ever since I was a little kid, and I was born in 91, and so I was watching drag racing, all through those 90s whenever John Force won all those championships, and then I got to looking into the older stuff like Dom Perdome and all of them, and it's like Force, and I know not everybody likes John Force, but John Force and Don Perdome were probably, I wanted to be like them whenever I grew up.
Now, do you ever think you'll go to nitromethane?
Probably not. We haven't ran any. I ran a little bit of nitro with my dad's Furniture Dragster, and this year with the funny car, we just ran on alcohol. But next year we're going to a bigger motor and a bigger blower, and we'll probably put 10 or 20% nitro in it, but nothing major like all those other guys do. I don't think we have the funds for that right now.
No, this year, how many funny car chaos events are you going to go to?
We are going to go to all 4. So that's pretty much taking priority over everything, just because it's like we just want to support it. We think what Chris Graves is doing is great, and we had a lot of fun at the one we didn't. So hopefully we can keep up with everybody and qualify.
Are you hoping to go up against Andy again?
I want him first round in Amarillo. If I get a chance, I'm going for him.
So Andy, if you're listening, he's gonna be gunning for you.
I'm calling him out.
Tell him Megadeth. Ask him that.
We're not talking about music. So what was it like to get behind the wheel for the first time of funny car?
It was terrifying. I've only driven, that Chevelle and that Corvette, and that Corvette was a 10-second car. And I had driven my dad's Furniture Dragster a handful of times before he put the blower on it and everything. And he was running 440s in the 8. And so I went from running 10s to putting that motor and transmission in the funny car. And we were hoping it'd run in the 4s, but we weren't really sure. And so I went from running a 10-second car to a possible 4-second car in the 8. And my first pass, I got up there, did my burnout, and whenever I did my burnout, it sounded like the car really cleared out, and it sounded like it's running a lot better and everything. Well, whenever I went and staged the car and left, I was only going to make like a 330 hit and get out of it. Well, I launched and let out of the gas, and the throttle stuck wide open. And I ended up, I was all just, I didn't know what to do, so I ended up shutting everything off. And I went and pulled the parachutes, and the pin on the parachutes wasn't taken out, so I had no chutes. I was running full throttle longer than I wanted to, and I came in the shutdown area pretty hot. But I ended up getting the car stopped, and that my first experience in a funny car, it was a handful.
So no claustrophobia when the hood came down on you?
No, I feel like I'm at home, I guess, whenever the lid comes down, because, it seems like it drowns out all the noise, and it's quieter, and you don't see the motor and all that everything else. So it's pretty, almost relaxing to me now. It wasn't the first time, but now I'm pretty used to it.
So now what kind of car is your funny car? What make is it?
It's a 69 Nova.
69 Nova. And what kind of engine you got in there?
Right now, we've got a 427 big block Chevy.
And it's that's blown alcohol? Blown alcohol? Or?
Yeah. Yep, it's got an 871 blower on it. We're just running alcohol through it. And we're probably running about 9-to-1 compression. And we're overdriving the blower like 21%. So hopefully with this new motor we're building, we're going to bump it up quite a bit.
So with the old engine that's in it now, what's been the quickest pass you've done with that?
The quickest pass I've made in the car was a 477 at 146 in the 8, and that was we made that pass in the final round and
Now, you don't have any sponsors for the car?
We probably got maybe 2.
What?
That's, when we were in Denton, Wool Wagon was pitted a couple of trailers down from us, and one of the guys that sponsors the Wool Wagon came over and talked to us, and he actually decided he was going to sponsor us a set of pistons on his new motor. So we've got him sponsoring us, and we got our my dad's old boss from up in Independence, Dale. He's given us the tune-up for the car and helped us out as much as possible. He's actually given us a block before to get it started and everything. So those are pretty much the only 2 sponsors we have.
So now the 4 Funny Car Chaos events, that's the only 4 events you're running this year?
No, we're going to run those 4 Funny Car Chaoses. We also run with a group called the Central State Superchargers, and they run in Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. And I think there's 6 events for that. And we also have the altered body we're going to throw on it and run up at Eddyville for the World Altered Fuel Nationals, wherever it is. So I think we've got 10 or 11 races this year.
Now, when you get ready to go for a weekend of racing, what goes into preparation for you?
When we get back from a race, we usually check the valves. We'll check the bearings. Make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight. We actually broke the bolts on the converter and the flywheel on our last race in Mocan last year. So we try to check over all that stuff as much as possible because we don't want anything bad to happen, But it's pretty low maintenance. That's kind of why we don't want to jump to nitro yet.
So what have been some of your favorite tracks to run on?
I think Denton was probably my favorite just because it went so well for us down there. And probably Denton and Mocan are probably 2 of my favorite tracks.
Now, all the tracks you run on are all quarter mile?
No. The only tracks, we usually run 8 mile, but the only tracks I think quarter mile is Tulsa. And we only race there once a year.
What do you prefer, quarter mile or 8 mile?
It makes no difference to me. That's the car's set up for 8 mile. If my dad would let me, I'd run a quarter, but I just like driving the car.
So now, where'd you get your fire suit from?
I actually just ordered a new one from Impact, so I should be getting that in the mail in the next week or 2.
Now, throughout your drag racing career, have you had any accidents or near accidents at all?
No, I've only been racing for 10 years, and I'm pretty lucky I haven't had any wrecks or fires or anything. I've dropped a valve and ate up a couple pistons in the motor, but I haven't had any big explosions or anything yet. Hopefully I don't.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, usually almost all the guys have at least a fire once.
I hear that if you race long enough, you're going to have an accident, and I'm sure it's going to happen eventually. Hopefully it doesn't though.
Yeah, have you ever gotten near to the wall at all?
Yeah. Our first race last year up in Wichita, it was the first round of eliminations, and the car launched, and it went straight to the wall, and I got out of it. And I've actually gotten pretty close to the center line, but I've never crossed, so hopefully I can keep that going.
Yeah. Now, have you ever won any trophies in the 10 years you've been racing?
I've only won one event, and that was at the Nitro Nationals in Tulsa back in 2010. And I have runnered up at probably 4 or 5 events. And every time I'm just right there and I barely miss it.
All right, so you ready for some fun questions now, Jordan?
Yeah.
If someone were to give you $150 million and like, hey Jordan, build me a drag race track, where would you build the track and what kind of features would you want to put into the track?
I'd probably build a track pretty close to home. Here, I know there's one in Tulsa, which is an hour away, but if I had one in Bartlesville, it'd be pretty nice. I'd probably try to include every type of racing there is, like mud racing, monster trucks, anything like that, just to get people to come to it.
Maybe some concerts.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Now, how about the grandstands? Would you want to do covered grandstands?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, keep that sun.
I know I've gone to several events and I've gotten sunburned just from sitting in the grandstand. So.
Yeah. Now, do you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
I'm sorry, what?
Any hobbies outside of drag racing?
Not really. I work probably about 60 hours a week, and then with the 2 girls and my fiance, there doesn't leave much room for anything else but the funny car.
Now, if you're able to do some time traveling and go back in time, would you do anything different?
Yeah, I would go back to Denton and I would cut a better light and beat Andy Beers.
No,
other than that, I'm pretty happy with how my life's turned out. Everything seems to be going pretty good for me.
Now, do you ever go on vacations at all?
Yeah, actually, me and my fiance are getting married in a couple months, and we're going to go down to Florida and go to Universal Studios and go down there for a week.
So, where's your favorite vacation spot? Florida?
Florida, if it's the right time of year. I've been down to Florida once in the middle of July, and it was hot and muggy. I've actually been to San Diego once, and that is probably, I'd love to go back to San Diego. It's just, the place is just beautiful. It's like 70 degrees all day, every day. I mean, it's nice weather constantly, and I'd probably go back to San Diego if I had a chance.
All right. So, what's your favorite food, Jordan?
I would say probably anything with chicken. Whether it's chicken fried steak or chicken fried chicken, chicken strips, anything with chicken in it, I'll eat it pretty much.
Now, does your fiance cook?
A little bit. I usually do most of the cooking, but when she does cook, it's usually spaghetti.
So spaghetti would be your favorite dish that she makes?
Well, she doesn't really make much other than spaghetti, so I guess that's my favorite dish she makes.
So what's your best dish to cook?
I've actually gotten pretty good at cooking hamburgers, so I feel like I'm pretty good at that, like just grilling out and stuff like that.
What is it, hamburgers?
What'd you say, hamburgers?
Yeah.
I make 5-pound hamburgers.
She makes 5-pound hamburgers.
How do you guys eat that?
How do you do that?
That'd be huge.
Yeah, they are huge. It takes an hour to cook.
So when you guys are at the track, you guys barbecue?
We usually have a little grill and we'll throw some chicken on there and some hot dogs. But I usually don't do any of the cooking whenever we're racing. We're usually trying to work on the car, or my mom's usually the one that cooks.
Do you even eat on a race day? Do you even eat, or you wait till after the race is done over for the night?
It kind of depends. If we're racing at night, I'll probably eat during the day, but whenever I'm at the track, I'll hardly eat at all. I don't know if it's just the nerves or what, but I don't even think about it hardly.
All right. What's your favorite beverage?
Monster.
Monster Energy.
I've had a Monster every day, at least one a day since like 2007. So if Monster ever wanted to sponsor me, I think I've invested enough money for them to.
Which one? The green one?
All of them.
Oh, you drink all the Monsters.
Yep.
What's your favorite music?
Heavy metal, rock, anything with Rob Zombie, or I like Rob Zombie, Shinedown, Mudvayne, Hell Yeah, Breaking Benjamin, Avenged Sevenfold, any of those guys.
Yeah, I saw one of your pictures. You were wearing a Rockstar Mayhem shirt.
Metallica or Megadeth?
Yeah.
Ask him.
How about Metallica, Megadeth, stuff like that?
Yeah, I like Metallica.
Tell him Metallica or Megadeth.
Metallica or Megadeth? Which one you like better?
Metallica.
Okay.
Never really got too much into Megadeth.
How about Pantera?
Pantera. I like them.
Slayer?
You ever listen to Slayer?
Yeah. I've got a couple songs on my Spotify playlist I listen to them on.
Tell him what's his favorite song.
Yeah, you have a favorite song to listen to by Slayer?
Shoot. Probably. I know Raining Blood's probably like everybody's favorite, but I'd say probably that one.
Raining Blood?
Yeah.
Mine is Dead
Of course, I can play it on Guitar Hero pretty good.
she you know those stink bugs?
I'm sorry, what?
You know the bug, the stink bug?
Yeah.
There's one crawling on the fucking carpet over here. My wife's trying to grab the thing. She screamed. Yeah, it's winter time over here, but we still got them in the house, man.
That's I've actually been lucky this year because last year we had a couple mice that got into our house, but this year we haven't because of the cold weather. So
mice are in the house.
I haven't seen that many bugs though.
We got 2 garden mice in the kitchen.
So you don't play no instruments?
No, I'm not that. I have like no rhythm whatsoever.
Why? What happened?
I've tried to play the bass with my cousin. He tried to teach me, and that just did not happen.
How about piano? Can you play piano?
Nope.
Okay, let's see if you can remember this. Just remember this quick note. 1 1 5 5 6 6 5 4 4 3 3 2 2 1. That's how you play piano.
Yeah, I'll probably screw that up somehow.
And that's Twinkle Little Star, too.
So now, if you have time, you go to concerts out by you?
Yeah. Me and my fiance actually went and saw Slipknot twice last year.
Oh, but this year they're going to
I know Shinedown and Five Finger Death Punch are coming to Tulsa in May, so we probably go to 3 or 4 concerts a year.
That's cool.
Tell them we're friends with Fuzz and Justin.
Yeah. So, if you weren't drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
If I wasn't drag racing, I'd probably have a monster truck. That's what my dad actually thought whenever I was younger, I was going to have a monster truck over a race car. But
No.
I think monster trucks are a little more expensive, too.
Yeah.
What difference
Now,
does it make?
now, if you throughout your 10 years racing, what have been the milestones?
never forget my first 4-second pass I made down there at North Star Dragway in Denton. And it was a 486, and I just remember whenever that thing left, I mean, it hooked, threw me back in the seat, and I knew I was on a pass. And whenever I got down in the shutdown area, and my dad and my mom came to pick me up, my dad was so excited that we got into the fours. Because we struggled all year trying to get in the fours. It was a 5-0, 5-0, 5-0-1, and getting in the fours was a big deal for us.
So would you consider that your fondest memory too?
I think the whole weekend down there at North Star Dragway was, I'll always remember that, just because we were just happy we were there, as we were lucky if we could qualify. That's how we went into the weekend, because we knew we had a 5-second car, and there was 24 cars there, so we thought maybe we'd qualify with a 5. And when we went out there and ran a 486 and actually qualified in the top half of the field, it felt pretty good. And, I mean, it was just, we didn't expect to qualify. So when we qualified, that made our weekend. Then we won first round, that made our weekend even better. And in fact, we got all the way to the final rounds. The whole weekend was a success for us.
So did you go up against any Nitro guys?
No. Every car I raced against, they tried to pair us up with people that we thought would run with us. And we actually went down there, and one of the guys that races with the Central State Superchargers, he put a funny car body on it. And we decided that, since we knew each other, we were going to go up there and race, or qualify anyways. And so he was an alcohol car, and everybody else that we raced was an alcohol car. The only nitro car that qualified with us was Ray out in New Mexico.
Yeah, Ray Stringer.
And he qualified. He qualified number 1 in the B field, and he actually broke in the first round. And if he hadn't broke, we would have raced him in the second round.
So where did you get your funny car license? What track?
Let's Tulsa Raceway Park down here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
I made about 6 or 7 passes.
So who licensed you?
One of our friends, his name's Adam. He's got a bone for engine dragster, and he signed off on my licensing passes. And my dad was also licensed at the time, and he signed off on them too.
Oh, okay. Now, Jordan, do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Any movie with Wolverine in it.
Any of the Wolverine
That's
movies?
all the X-Men movies. The new Logan movie was probably one of my favorites. And I've actually got a Wolverine tattoo on my side.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you watch any TV shows at all?
I'll watch a little bit of football here and there, but I mainly watch Netflix when I get a chance. And I've been watching The Punisher and Daredevil lately.
Now, do you have a favorite actor? Who?
Probably Hugh Jackman, just because he's played Wolverine ever since 2000.
Yeah.
How about actors?
That's whenever they...
Go ahead.
Sorry, what?
Go ahead.
That's whenever, Logan was his last movie. I wanted to see that movie, but I didn't want to see it just because I didn't want it to be the end of an era.
I love Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, she loves Hugh Jackman.
I do too.
So, do you have a favorite actress for movies?
Probably Jennifer Lawrence.
No, I'd go with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. She's definitely one of them.
She's a great
Forgot about
actress.
her.
She plays a lot of good movies.
Yeah. I think she's, as old as she is and as attractive as she looks, I'll watch any movie she's in.
I don't like Meryl Streep anymore.
No.
No, she ain't nothing but a washed up, used up whore.
So now, if people listening want to find where your schedule's at, what's the best way for them to find your schedules for the races?
I've got a Facebook page that I run. It's called Blue Thunder, and it's got all of our events we're going to. It's got all the videos. It's got all the pictures I could find. And we also have an Instagram page called Blue Thunder, and it's got our schedule on there too with all the other, basically the same stuff that's on the Facebook page.
Okay. So now, do you think it's very important for the kids to come out to watch drag racing?
Yeah. I think that, our whole sport depends on the next generation of drag racers, and I plan on racing until the day I die, hopefully. And, I had my 2-year-old at the track when she was 6 months old. So, I think that if, with all the Street Outlaws and they're actually coming out with a new series, I know that's going to be at the track. So I think, if they're pushing for more track racing instead of street racing, maybe it'd, bring more kids into the track instead of on the street.
Yeah. If you get the kids off video games at home and get them out to the track, maybe they'll get addicted to drag racing.
Yeah. I know whenever I was younger, I played too many video games, and I should have been in the garage with my dad working on the car. If I regret not being out there more. But
yeah,
I'm doing all the catching up I can now.
Yeah, then sometimes some of them, though, even when they're at the track, they're glued to the phone screen the whole time, though.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that's kind of hurt drag racing is all the social media, just because everybody records everything and they go live on Facebook. So why are you going to go pay to watch a race when you can get on Facebook and watch it?
Yeah.
It's like I kind of think if you're there and experiencing it, you get more out of it.
Yeah. You get to feel the thunder of the funny cars and smell all the, if it's nitro, you smell the nitro methane.
I went to Tulsa one year, and they had some nitro funny cars down there, and I got to stand up on the starting line whenever they left, and that is one of the most craziest feelings ever.
Did your eyes get all teared up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You can't see, you can't breathe, and then they leave, and it hits you, and it's a great experience. I highly recommend it.
See the big header flames coming up?
Yeah. That's what, we're not running a lot of nitro in our car, so, we're not going to have the 8 feet header flames that all the nitro cars do, but if we can do long burnouts and do dry hops and,
there you go.
bring back the nostalgia part of it.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if you ever seen the Frantic Ford nitro car from the East Coast. You ever seen videos of the Frantic Ford funny car?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, you look it up on YouTube. Frantic Ford. They did a long smoky burnouts and dry hopping.
Really?
Yeah, they try to put.
There was a guy down there in Denton where we were there, and his car was called Juggling Rubies, and he did long smoky burnouts and did dry hops too. But he was a nitro car, so he had the header flames too.
Yeah, that's what we need, the good show back for the nostalgia funny cars.
Yeah, I think I know it won't happen, but if NHRA would go back to, funny cars doing long smoky burnouts and the dry hops and just make it more entertaining than just trying to go fast.
Yeah, some of these guys I interviewed, they said they're not looking to be the fastest car out there. They just want to put on a good show for the fans.
That's all I want to do is, winning races is great, but, I just want to put on a show for everybody. I was like, because I thought it was cool when I was a kid and people did long smoky burnout.
Yeah.
It's like, all I want to do is put on a show. And, if I could get I get booked into events or something, do some match racing, I don't care if I win or lose the race as long as, I put on a good show.
Right. Yep. The fans.
And that's what actually happened in October last year. The Rocky Mountain Superchargers came to Mocan, and we went up there and we actually got a trophy for having outstanding performance because we made 3 passes. We had good burnouts. We did dry hops. We ran 3 480 passes in the 8th. I mean, it was just a good weekend for us. And, we just put on a show, and we ended up getting a trophy for it.
Now, at Funny Car Chaos, do they do a burnout contest?
Yeah. They did a burnout contest, and John Hale actually won that one. He did a burnout the whole length of the track. Like, I'll probably never be able to do that, but it was cool to see.
Yeah, John Hale's a great guy. I've had him on the show twice already.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I still haven't tried his barbecue sauce yet, though.
I think one of the cool things about going to that Funny Car Chaos and North Star Dragway was whenever we were going up there for the final round, you had all these guys that had nitro cars like John Hale, and everybody's telling you good luck, and it just makes you feel good, It's just cool that, they were there supporting you and whatnot.
Yeah. Drag racing's all one big family.
Yeah.
So.
We actually went and had a race over at Ozark in Springfield, Missouri, and our friend Adam Smith, we lost first round, and Adam broke his magneto and got back to the pits, and the gear actually came off his shaft, and there was 3 or 4 of us over there in his pits trying to fish this gear out of his motor, and we fished that gear out, put a new magneto in it, and he ended up winning the whole event. But it was just cool that everybody kind of pulled together and helped him out.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, I want to thank you for your time for the interview, and you got any final words for everyone listening in?
Go like our page on Facebook. Thanks for having me. This is my first interview I've ever done. It's pretty fun. And, get out there and go to the drag show. Have some fun with it.
Sounds good. We'll get you on again in the future.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, you have a good night, Jordan.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was Jordan Ballew. And hope you people enjoyed the interview. You have a good night.